the Turbo Z. It is an American revolution.
After a few hours of digging these trees, boy, you know you've been working. When I get a chance to relax, I head straight for a Milky Way bar. Sit back, think about playing ball tonight. It's great.
You get the goodness of a quarter cup of milk in every bar. There's milk, natural cane and corn sugars, and thick, thick chocolate in a Milky Way bar.
Good old Milky Way. Life's not all work, you know.
A Milky Way day helps you work, rest, and play.
Don't laugh, but I started using Uncle Ben's after I was in this taste test. They had a whole lot of us comparing Uncle Ben's and the other leading national brand. My rice, what a difference. Uncle Ben's looked better, tasted better, wasn't sticky. Turns out Uncle Ben's beat my old rice, something like 2-to-1. I was pretty embarrassed, but you ought to taste my chicken and rice now.
Uncle Ben's converted brand rice. It really does make a difference.
Brace yourself, folks. Looks like the coldest day of the year.
Good thing you got a new battery, Harry.
New battery.
A little extra time.
A Sears battery with a 60-month warranty is now $49.99 at Sears Tire and Auto Center. And save on almost every tire. Weather handler steel-belted radials are as low as $4 for $99 at Sears, where we install confidence.
Well, got the battery.
You pick up the kids, Harry?
There's more for your life.
The kids.
At Sears.
The road to getting a high school diploma is long. And sometimes it seems to be all uphill. But don't give up, because high school graduates are winners in life. That's the kind of winner we're looking for. Maybe you can be one of us. The few, the proud, the Marines.
On the first day after Christmas, my true love gave to me leftover turkey. On the second day after Christmas, my true love gave to me turkey casserole that she made from leftover turkey. On the third
If the holidays are lingering longer than you expected, we have a suggestion. A pan pizza from Pizza Hut with pepperoni, mushrooms, almost any topping except one.
Flaming turkey wings. Fa-la-la-la-la, fa-la-la-la-la.
Presenting beauty in motion. The Dodge Lancer. Its fluid lines are graceful, captivating. Its sleek body glides through the wind. Dodge Lancer. With room, space, and virtually every electronic convenience available. And Lancer has a fuel-injected engine with optional turbocharger, so you'll know what to expect. Great performance.
On different strokes, Sam's got to win over a crusty senior.
Be serious.
Good luck, Sam. Then on Double Trouble, the girls look back at their craziest teenage times together. Then it's a special hour of Gimme a Break.
The price is too much, I can't take it.
Janelle gets an expensive gift from a man she hardly knows.
Fool, you can't keep that going. Saturday.
V has been sponsored in part by Dodge, makers of Ram-Tough Dodge trucks and Dodge cars that will revolutionize your perspective of the road. We are Dodge, an American revolution.
Now stay tuned as a deadly eavesdropper goes after Hunter with high-tech surveillance equipment. Then on Miami Vice, will an Asian drug king destroy Castillo's lost love? Later tonight, Johnny Carson welcomes Shelley Long of Cheers and comedian Bill Maher.
NBC, let's all be there.
Michael try to save a young couple and come face to face with an evil force.
Who or what is that?
It's a deadly mystery. Sunday. Sarah, Newsweek calls it the brightest new arrival of 1985.
There you go.
From the creators of Family Ties, it's Sarah, premiering Wednesday after The Facts Alive.
This is NBC News Digest, sponsored by Chunky Soup. Here is John Hart, NBC News.
Good evening. The United States says it will boycott the World Court hearings on Nicaragua's complaints against the U.S. and in addition is suspending talks with Nicaragua on resolving differences. The White House says President Reagan will ask Congress for extra money for El Salvador, as much as $172 million more. Now this.
Every chunky beef soup is so full of good things, you actually have to take big bites. Campbell's Chunky Beef Soups, the soup that eats like a meal.
President Reagan's new arms negotiators named today are Max Kampelman, conservative Democrat, John Tower, former senator and conservative Republican, and Maynard Glittman, who was a negotiator in previous talks. The inaugural entertainments began in Washington tonight. Old songs and fireworks behind the White House, celebrations that will go on until Monday. I'm John Hart in New York.
If you're in business and serious about it, where can you get all the business news you need these days? In a daily newspaper? Even in the best, you get only a section of business news. That's too little. In business magazines, well, if you have to wait a week to read the news, maybe it's not.
I'll tell you more about that later and what we'll do for you for joining our efforts here. But right now, I want you to meet one of our counselors. Her name is Linda.
Linda, tell me what went into your decision to have an abortion.
I was 17, and I'd been dating a guy for a while, and I became pregnant. And I never told anybody, not a soul, except for him. And I just decided at the best time that it was easier to do that than to tell anybody. But then finally I did talk to my mama and talked to a lawyer and a few other people. And it seemed like everybody was pointing towards that was the easiest thing to do, so in my circumstances I did that. I never realized that it was a child.
Where did you go for counseling?
Just a clinic in a Baltimore hospital.
We hear a lot of talk these days about freedom of choice. Do you feel that you had all the information you needed before you went through this procedure?
No, I do not. No. I was told it was easy. It was the best way. It was more convenient.
Now, out of all of this, you have a testimony of what Christ has done in your life, and I wonder if you'd share that with us.
I was raised in a Christian home, and I had so many chances to become a Christian. And I just always thought, well, man, I'll have time, you know, I'll make it. And you know, I was going through life just running from my problems, doing a lot of drugs, doing a lot of drinking. And the devil tried to kill me by throwing me from a horse, and the Lord used that to his glory. He made me think, you know, you're not going to have that much time. It's going to be all over with real quick, you know, it may be all over with. And I started thinking about it, and I'd almost lost my family through divorce because I didn't care. You know, I was doing a lot of drugs. And the Lord just came into my life. I just committed my life to Jesus Christ. And it was such a big change. It was just great. There was a peace in my heart. Things changed. You know, I didn't have the same desires that I had before. It was just wonderful. It was just great.
Since you've been with Save a Baby, what can you tell us about the difference this program has made in the lives of young people?
It's given me a chance to see what God can do. With girls that were in kind of like the same situation that I was. And I took one route, and they are taking another. And it's just so great to see the Lord work and to do, you know, certain things in their life. It just gives them hope. It gives them a reason for living. They just learn, you know, how to deal with life, how to deal with circumstances. Save a Baby has really made a difference in just seeing them do that, seeing them grow and learn about, you know, what pregnancy is and what the facts of life are, you know, and just reality has really helped me see the difference, you know, in the Lord's way and the world's way. It's really been a blessing.
What would be your advice to women in crisis pregnancy situations watching this program?
Say, first of all, they need some good counseling. They need to know that there is a peace in their heart that they can receive if they commit their life to Christ, because I know that Christ has forgiven me. And I just know that I know that when I do go to heaven, I'll see my little girl standing there, and I know that I won't be smacked in the face.
I'm so sorry we did not have the Save a Baby ministry to offer to Linda in her time of need. But that's all history now. We can't change that. But thank God Save a Baby is here now. You've been to the home. You've seen what God's doing there. And a little later, you're going to meet one of our mothers, Joan, and her little baby, Christina Lynn. As a matter of fact, you'll be in the delivery room while Christina Lynn is being born. The miracle of life. You know, I really have a dream. I really believe we can prevent 500,000 abortions each year in this country through the Save a Baby approach. I mean, in the next 3 to 5 years. I really believe that. Because we're just 34 months into this ministry now. Already, everything you've seen, I've talked about, is in progress, plus 183 ministries out there at some level of operation. We can have 1,000 Save a Baby centers. But what's the answer to stopping abortion? Of course, there are legislative and judicial areas of relief that we must address. But I mean, as far as you are concerned, what's the answer? The answer is not stopping everything, meeting the total need, but doing what one person can do to prevent one abortion. And I'll tell you what that is. You can do what several thousand others have done. You can become a godparent. Now let me explain to you carefully what a godparent of this ministry is. A godparent is a person who decides, I am going to prevent one little baby from going to destruction in the abortion chamber. I am going to sponsor, I'm going to adopt one child, one boy, one little girl. I'm going to invest $400, and that's about the average cost of every baby that we are allowed to save alive. I'm going to invest $400 and become a godparent. Now here's what you do. You go to the telephone right now. That's a toll-free number, 1-800-446-5000. And you tell one of my staff members who answers, tell Jerry I want to become a godparent. I'm going to invest $400. You may want to give it $40 a month for 10 months, or any way you wish to give it. That's up to you. But you make up your mind, I, by God's grace, am going to prevent one abortion with a $400 gift. Immediately, I will send you a frameable certificate. And as you can see, your name will be on it, signed by myself. The little footprints on the bottom are the footprints of Christina Lynn, whom you'll see born in just a little while of this program. One of the first babies born here. Secondly, I will send you this Save a Baby Godparent bronzed baby shoe. On your coffee table, on the desk where you work, whatever, this little baby shoe will say to everyone, as will that certificate on your wall, you care. You love human life. You love little babies. And you're a godparent. Will you become one of our godparents right now? Call that toll-free number. Make the investment. I know you may have to take it out of savings. You may have to borrow it even. Many of our godparents have, because they believe human life is that important. They want some little baby to walk into God's sunshine, to have life, to have health, to be able to make his or her own life a reality. And you're willing to invest $400. Please call now and become a godparent. Right now, you're going to hear a song that will change your life. You know, I love gospel music, and I love all kinds of songs and hymns and so on, but in all my life, I've never been so moved as I was moved when I first heard Pat Boone's Let Me Live. Pat wrote this. Pat had a dream. A lot of little babies were crying out, let me live, and he finally awakened, and his heart was moved, and he realized these are unborn babies pleading for life. And he wrote the song that Don Norman sings.
I had a
a dream the other night. I never had a dream like it. So profound, so troubling. I woke up trembling in tears. In this dream, I don't know if I can describe it, I heard a child's voice, a baby, speaking to me almost in a whisper, I think. But I could hear her clearly, full of primal joy at being newly alive. I felt deeply that child's reverence and awe at the discovery of its own existence. And I shared in the excitement. But then I heard another voice, and another. And soon there seemed to be thousands, maybe millions, I couldn't count them. All in various stages of development, all grateful for life, all singing the same urgent chorus, the same fervent plea. And I realized, though each and every one of those children was already experiencing life, not one had yet been born.
I'm 1 month old. I'm very small. I feel me growing every day in this warm, dark place. My heart is the biggest part of me, and it's beating. I'm so glad to be alive. I'm very glad to be alive. Let me live. Let me walk into the sunshine. Let me live. Feel my mother's arms around me. Feel my father's love surround me. Be a part of God's creation. Let me live. I'm 6 weeks old now, and I've grown so much. Look at me. I'm a ½ inch long already. I have a little brain and a big heart and eyes. I can't see it, but I will. Just give me time. Let me walk into the sunshine. Let me live. Feel my mother's arms around me. Feel my father's love surround me. Be a part of God's creation. Let me live. Fingers and toes, my own mouth, my own lips. And I'm 2 months old today. My heart is beating fast. And I feel another heart, big and strong, somewhere all around me. Is that my mother? Let me live. Let me walk into the sunshine. Let me live. Feel my mother's arms around me. Feel my father's love surround me. Be a part of God's creation. Let me live. I'm 3 months old now, and my arms and legs have real bones. I'm growing and kicking too. Can you feel it? I could turn my head, I could squint and frown and make a fist. See, I can curl my toes. And I think my mother knows I'm here. I'm alive! I'm alive!
I woke up then, and I knew I was hearing something real. Thousands of unborn children were singing to me from their mother's wombs. They're not just mindless bits of flesh. They're human beings already in touch with their mothers, with God, and with life. And they deserve to live.